Hello everybody, and welcome to 21st Century Woodworking, with me, your host, Dirk the Engineer. Hello everybody, Dirk the Eng here, again with another update on the progress in my shop. I am very close to being done with the bench now. It's taken quite a while because, I work full-time, my wife works full-time, my wife's pregnant now, and, so time is getting a little less abundant, at least free time, anyway. So I just wanted to give you an update on a few of the things that I've accomplished. The first thing that you see here is that my vise is almost done, and it is installed and it is functional. I made these wooden nuts that fit this one in an 11/16 or 43 millimeter nut that I got. I guess this is for something to do with the axle on a Ford pickup truck. But it was one of the largest and least expensive nut drivers that I could find. And that's why I picked it up, and so I made the nut to size that out of maple. So I've got these 1-inch steel threaded rods. They're Acme threaded. And so I can drive it easily with one finger. Pretty easy to move. And there is a linking chain in here that turns a sprocket on both of them, and so they both turn in advance and keep the jaw face parallel to the bench, and that corresponds to I've got some bushings in here, and there's somewhere right underneath up here, yeah, right here where my finger's touching, there's a block that holds one of the nuts. It's the same size nut as this guy, up in there on each side, and that's what allows my jaws to move in and out. So I took the time to get the bench top back on top of the CNC, and I bored all of these holes as deep as I could make them. They're about a little over 2 inches, or about 2 inches deep, and I'm going to make bench dogs out of this 3/4 inch dowel that fits snugly in the holes. I imagine I can either take some sandpaper and loosen that up a little bit, or just let it loosen up as it gets worn. But that's the idea. So does fit quite tight. So I had finished that probably about a month ago, and I am just finishing up getting all my drawers made for this. They're 3/4 on the side, 1/4 inch plywood on the bottom, glued together. I've got heavy duty full extension drawer slides on there, and they've got the soft close feature on them, so it sucks the drawer closed, which is nice. I made these handles rather than trying to go buy hardware somewhere. I figured I would do the woodworking stuff and make my own handles. So what I did is cut out some forms, and then cut strips out of this particular block. I've got more left over here that I can make more handles with, and so they're just an 1/8 inch wide, about 10 inches long, or 9 inches long, and when they're bent they turn out to be 8 inches from end to end. And then all I did was just glue them on with some wood glue, lined them up real carefully. Basically what I did is I took a long piece of wood and laid it down, and make sure that I measured down so that this would be parallel with the top, and then just took some clamps and clamped them on, got the glue cleaned up, and then it worked pretty good. The final thing I've got that I got done, I made an 80-volt battery pack with charging station that fits underneath here, and that then goes to a control box, and inside of the control box I've got the ability to charge it through this switch, and essentially I've got a switch up here that turns on a relay that operates on 12 volts, and then the high power side is that 80-volt battery pack, which feeds power to the stepper motor controller, and the 12-volt power gets sent to this DC to DC power converter, which powers the Arduino. And on top of the Arduino there, you can see that I've got a radio receiver. And so essentially when this switch goes, I'm using a Pololu latching relay, so when this switch gets switched off, it cuts all the power so that nothing is being drawn. So my battery pack lasts quite a bit longer on that way. So anyway, that's all working, and I can lock it and keep it closed. Important when you got little kids coming. And that remote talks with this remote, and I can control speed with this up and down, and then I can make it move up, and I've got to unlock this first. That would be positive. So I can make it move up. Then move down. So it's coming along, and it's been very useful to be able to move this stuff up and down, not only for fitting the drawers and everything like that, but I can make it go down all the way down to the point where I can sit in a folding chair and work on the bench, or I can make it come up to chest height if I need to. It's been very good to have it be able to adjust height so I can use it as outfeed from my various machines, and help me get stuff on and off the bench top off of the milling bed of the CNC machine. So it is on casters, and it will move around. It does. It's not the easiest thing to move around because I think this thing weighs about 800 pounds, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, it should be fully functional here very shortly. I only have two small things left to do on it yet. I bought one of these vices, the kind that you have to make your jaw face for, and I have to make that yet. And then the other thing that I have to do is make various handles that will fit on these wooden nuts. I think I'm going to make a small circular with a handle that rotates, and that will allow me to use this for doing like hand cut dovetails and that kind of stuff. There is no feature that allows this to slide in and out like this one can. This is a fairly nice vise, pretty heavy duty, and so you can turn it and it will advance, but then you can back turn. I think one full turn will allow you to let it slide. And I got this one, I think I got this one from Veritas. And this one I designed off of that Veritas vise. Just made it myself instead. This back board comes off, secured with screws, and it allows me to get access to the chain and the sprockets to do maintenance and all that kind of stuff if I have to. But it's yeah, it's been a very, very fun project. My wife told me that anybody else would have just built a tabletop with 4 legs, but because I'm who I am, I had to make something like this. That took me, what, I started in October of last year, and now it's nearly July, so that's 9 months worth of work. But it's been fun. It's kept me busy, and it'll start serving its purpose here very shortly. I'm excited. So anyway, if I ever get time, I want to clean up